We're here at Pioneer Ford Campground, Deschutes National Forest, Central Oregon, right along the banks of Metolius River. Let's go check out the campsites. Here at Pioneer Ford Campground, I always want to say, Pioneer Ford! For some reason I always hear that voice whenever I think of Pioneer Ford, but that is my own jam. So we're here at Pioneer Ford Campground, one of about a dozen campgrounds in this Metolius River National Recreation Area. About half of them don't open till May, recreation.gov reservable. The other half open for first come, first serve around March, and then they're only recreation.gov during the prime summer season. This is one that is May only, so it is not open right now at the end of March 2025. There's 20 sites, 2 of them are tent only, sites 8 and 9, and let's go check them out. You get a little sign here indicating the trail. You've got the Metolius River Trail, West Metolius River Trail, East Metolius River Trail. We're on the east side. If you did the entire loop, both sides, including Wizard Falls Fish Hatchery, it's about 13.5 mile grand trip. I do have videos of that available. I recommend starting at West Metolius River Trail next to Lower Canyon Creek Campground, my personal favorite place to start, but really because it's a massive loop, you can start anywhere. 13.5 mile river wonderland. Metolius River is my favorite river in the state of Oregon, and this is a riverific state, actually the #1 state as far as high quality rivers according to the National Wild and Scenic River System. About 30% of all of the rivers are located in the great state of Oregon. So of those 60, Metolius River is my favorite. So I am a fan of this area. And let's go take a look at the site. Surprisingly long campground road, but now we're up against river shoreline. Here is site 1, and already pretty impressed. You'll notice that this right here is the trail for East Metolius River Trail. Look at how gorgeous that is. It's 13.5 mile loop if you did the entire enchilada, both sides, west and east of Metolius River. But here's site 1. You've got kind of shoulder parking. You can see 2 is right there, and you can see the rest of the campground road. Let's go take a look. Picnic table's awesome. Fire pit's awesome. Look at this approach to Metolius River. This is legend. This is a dream. I'm already getting very impressed by site 1 here at Pioneer Ford. So yeah, this is legit. I'm gonna stop here for a second. You see this is a little side trail right there that connects over to East Metolius River Trail. Here is your private access point for site 1 at Pioneer Ford. And I'm sorry, Doc, I didn't mean to interrupt your enjoyment of the area. Look at that. That is beautiful. That is gorgeous. Come around here and we got beautiful Metolius River moseying on by. This Deschutes National Forest Ponderosa Laden Wonderland Zone. Let's walk back to site 1. So it's your own private access. However, because of the side trail over to East Metolius River Trail, you probably will have people cutting through here. And some of them will probably try to stop at your private access point. So kind of the trade-off of being right up against a Wonderland Zone trail is the domain demarcation privacy lines are not very clearly defined. So that is site 1. Again, I'll look back. Legend. Your own private access. Fly fisherman's dream. Let's continue along this way. This is kind of the turnabout for site 1. There's your water spigot right there, so that's nice. Again, I'll look back. That is the East Metolius River Trail. So you will have people on the East Metolius River Trail right next to site 1. So you're giving up some privacy for some access. It's a trade-off. May or may not be worth it to you. Here is site 2. The left here is the main campground road. Here's your turnabout, grassy turnabout. There's a site across the way, 3, inner landlubber site. So 3 is definitely not as good as 2, but we'll get there in a minute. Here's 2. This is your turnabout. I'm surprised at all the green grass. Very cool. Now here's your picnic table and fire pit. Let me stop here and just kind of look around at the area. Got Ponderosa Heavens across the other side of the river, the west side of the river. And then here's your picnic table, your fire pit on the left here. Here's your own little side access. I gotta say, I'm just blown away. Like, I'm in love with this Metolius River National Recreation Area. So just being here, I'm already feeling like I'm in a legendary zone. So probably jade my reviews of these positively. Me thinking every one of these is legend. But coming down here, this is your own private access point. Watching for spider webs, only a few of them. And there you are, getting a fly fisherman's paradise. Here's your access to the river, looking downstream. So I'm in love with all these ponderosa pines, and this forest zone is epic. So I'm a fan. You can see across the way, that's a little part of West Metolius River Trail. So you will have people hiking on that side. Let me come back here. I already cleared the spider webs with my face. And here is your site. That is picnic table and fire pit. So that is site 2. You can see not the best light lines with site 3 straight ahead. You got the water spigot in front of 3, but you would have your car probably blocking it, so that's good. But 3 over there, not great. Again, I'll point out over there, next to 1, you see that pillar straight ahead between the trees. That is East Metolius River Trailhead. So you got 1 over there, and then here's your turnabout for 2. So 2 is pretty epic. I'll turn back around one more time. Look at that. 2 is pretty epic. So Pioneer Ford's pretty impressive. 1 and 2 are legit, must say. And I'm gonna cut across here to 3. You got your water spigot, you got your picnic table, fire pit. I mean, I'm gonna pan up just to show the scale. I mean, look at these ponderosas. These are dream ponderosas. So the forest is legend. The downside is, you see on the other side of this is the main campground road. So you have people driving by your site kind of like U-shaped, which isn't great. And you're not up against the river. Why wouldn't you want to be a 1 or a 2? Also, you kind of have direct line of sights in some ways to your area. So I wouldn't do 3. 3's a consolation. I'm in the area. I mean, it's hard to look at this, the glow of this forest. Look at the Deschutes National Forest. So, I don't think you would have a miserable time in any of these, but we're trying to separate the wheat from the chaff, the creme to the creme, and 3 is definitely lower quality than 1 and 2. So my viewpoint is, if you're bothering to come out to Metolius River, one of the 12 campgrounds here in this national recreation area, by golly, you'd actually like to be on the river. Call me crazy, but I want to be shoreline. So I would not do 3. But as a consolation prize, if you just want to be in the area, everything's booked, it's serviceable. Here's 4, another turnabout. And you got your picnic table here. I like how these have these long, wide turnabouts. This is nice. You can see how the campground road goes that way. So here's 4, picnic table, fire pit on the other side of it. Yet again, you have your own privately carved access point to our close trusty friend, Metolius River National Recreation Area, National Wild and Scenic River. So let's take this. I get the distinction of being the spider web clearer. You can see over here, this is the trail. Remember, there's a 13.5 mile trail. So you will potentially have people hiking, moseying on by right here. So that kind of sucks, but that's kind of the trade-off of being up against the river, is you will have hikers kind of walking through what feels like your area, but that's just the way life works and how this area is designed. We come down here, you can see beautiful area. Again, you can see across the way. You'll see people hiking Metolius, West Metolius River Trail. You can see it carved on the other side of the river. And this is your access point. Now, I will say, particularly high quality right here, because of this log. If you're a fly fisherman, this is a great access point, because you have the log. You can, put down your box, whatever you got. And it also just kind of creates a nice little pool for your waders. So pretty high quality spot from a fisherman's perspective. Site 4, probably the best access point purely from a fly fisherman's perspective. Again, you've got the hiking trail right here and right here. So people will be going through your site, kind of between your river access point and your picnic table and fire pit. But that's just how this place is designed. So you have to give up that little bit of privacy for the premium river shoreline access. So I think 4 might be the best from a fisherman's perspective, just because of that little pool next to that log gives you a good access point. You got your restroom straight ahead, and let's look across the way. Now you got 5, another inner loop, landlubber's delight. Again, if I'm at Metolius, I'd rather be up against a river. So 5 is another consolation site. You want to be in the area, everything else is booked. Again, so here's 4, epic. There's the campground road, here's 5. Nice long driveway. Beautiful section of Deschutes National Forest, so not gonna overlook that part of it. So here's your picnic table and your fire pit. Clearly you do your tent straight ahead. There's a clear area, so you could put your tent straight ahead. That would kind of give you a little bit more privacy. So decent privacy for an inner loop, but again, you're not up against the river, which to me is what you covet if you come to Metolius. So I probably wouldn't do 5, but 5 and 3 are the consolation prizes if you just want to fish in the area. 1, 2, and 4 are legend, in my humble opinion. You got like a gazebo-like day use area straight ahead. That's neat. We'll get to that in a minute. Here's 6. Before I do 6, I'll just pan over. You got your restroom. And to check out 6, you got your parking. Now your lot lines aren't the best with 4. See, there's 4. You got your picnic table, fire pit straight ahead for 4. So 4 and 6 really a little close, but you are on the riverside. Picnic table, fire pit. You got that gazebo thing. I'm sure that's not the proper term, but that's what I'm going with right there. So that's kind of not the best privacy lines. So here's your area. Kind of feels like the central zone of Pioneer Ford. I'm gonna come over here. Again, you can see there's a little footpath to our gazebo, and then this footpath is presumably, from my perspective, the shoreline access point from Site 6. Again, we're going to be going through the East Metolius River Trail right here, so people will be moseying on by. And here's your access point. They did a good job again and gave you a couple logs, so you have a little still area for fly fishing. So look at that. That's pretty good access, actually. It's still, so you throw on your waders and you go out there. You can go a few feet out as far as you want to go, really, safety-wise. Actually, that's not a bad area. It doesn't look too crazy right there. So you probably go pretty deep as you want. Of course, so you're in risk. And fish right here. So this is a really good fishing access point from 6. Got the trail right here and the trail right here. Got the gazebo thing over there, and then here's your side access. So beautiful zone, like legend. You got the bathroom on the other side of the trees, but you do have the privacy dings because you're right up against the East Metolius River Trail between you and your shoreline access for fly fishing. But I have a feeling most fishermen will take that trade for that kind of a premium world-class access to Metolius River. So that's 6. Also remember, 6 doesn't have the best lot lines with 4. So I kind of liked 1 and 2 better. 1 does have that major trail access point for East Metolius River Trail, but even with that said, so look back at 5, I liked 1 and 2 better than 4 and 6, but my humble opinion. Here's another water spigot. They have several of these strewn about, which is very nice. And here's 7. Give you the lot lines here. 7, probably the lowest quality so far. Inner picnic table, fire pit, kind of a claustrophobic section of forest. You don't really have a big area. Like you'd put your tent right here is really the only place you could put it. And look right there, you got your close trusty friend right there. So that's not good. 7 is probably the first one where I'm like, no bueno. You got, the restroom is like 20, 25 feet away. So you're gonna hear everybody going to their bathroom, and you're kind of fishbowled, you're kind of landlocked right here. Yeah, 7 is not good. At least 3 and 5 had a little bit more space. 7's the first one where I'm like, skip that one. I wouldn't do that one. Let's look over here. You got 8 and 9. These are the tent only. So it's kind of interesting. See the little sign? Tents only. So you basically, this is the one where you park and then you just carry your gear. So it's just a little bit different design. You park in this general parking for 8 and 9. Make it clear so you see the sign for 8, then you see the sign for 9, You see there's 2 picnic tables there, 2 picnic tables there. We'll do 8 first. Again, you park and you carry your gear. Your parking isn't integrated into your site. You do have 2 picnic tables in a fire pit, so you got 2 picnic tables, that's extra. But the lot lines are not great. I mean, look, 9's right there. So 8 and 9 are right on top of each other. This is not a privacy play. A little bit more work carrying stuff, but not that much more work. I will also say, oddly, you've got this right here. I mean, this is a really cool structure. I'm just saying, as far as location, it's right next to you. Let's go take a look. It says, maintain a legacy for the next generation. You can pause that and read that if you'd like. Very cool. And you've got this nice, I'm calling it the gazebo, but I know that's the wrong name for it. This nice structure with stone fireplace. Well, let's walk up here. Metolius CCC shelters restored 2006-2008 by many volunteers, hours, and generous donations from list of groups. Very nice. And here's a fire pit. Let me just pan up so you can see the awesomeness. This really was a labor of love. You can tell they put a lot of work into it. So very impressive, and I'm digging it. I love these kind of things. I'm a sucker for these kind of landmarks of the fireplace. Let's just walk all the way around it. Here's the back. Looks like somebody left their drink there. It happens. So this is beautiful. I'm digging it. So it's like, I guess this is like a community fireplace. And it's obviously got a historical legacy, probably correlated with the name Pioneer Ford in some way. So if you're doing 8 and 9, again, here's 8 with 2 picnic tables and a fire pit. You have this interesting shelter with a stone fireplace and a sign right next to you. Up to you if you think that's good or bad. It probably draws some people, so from a privacy point of view, it's probably bad, but maybe from a safety shelter point of view, it's good. If it started raining, you could go in there. Presumably that's a functional fireplace, so maybe I don't really, please defer to whatever Deschutes National Forest says, but presumably you can use that fireplace and stay warm. So we stop and look back again. Got a little shelter zone with a stone fireplace right next to 8. Here's 9. Let's check out 9. 9 is also tent only. Sometimes this park and walk thing can be very cool. This probably isn't my favorite, representation of that, because I'd rather be at like 1 or 2 or 4. So here you got 2 picnic tables and a fire pit. Again, there's 8. There's your shelter. You are right up against the river, so that's cool. Presumably you would shade your tent on this side to stay away from 8. So I kind of feel like this area is flat right here. This is probably where tents go, around these trees, like straight ahead right here. So you put your tent right here, or in this area. Well, then again, I'm getting ahead of myself. That's East Metolius River Trail right there. So you got the trail coming right by here. So presumably this is your trail right here. I'm walking on the trail right now. You kind of have the trail walking through your sites. So again, that's another privacy ding. I'm not a fan. Like, this is a beautiful area. This is gorgeous. This is dream. But I wouldn't do 8 or 9 personally. Not my jam. If you're like a single family, bring in your spouse and kiddos, I wouldn't want to be 8 or 9. But got a big group, like a younger group together. I could see it being very fun. So here's the access point from 9, or I'll say 8 and 9, but really 9. From a fly fisherman point of view, right there, you got, I think they are trying to keep a log there so you have something to hold as you're getting out and something you put your gear on, and kind of gives you a anchor point for safety and for logistics. So I'm digging that. Again, here is our East Metolius River Trail. Absolutely beautiful. Another shoreline access point. So if you're staying at 9 or 8, you can come over here. And you got another log that you can walk down the log, or that you can just probably get down in that water right there with your hip waders on, and go out, kind of place yourself in the middle of these trees and fish. That could be cool. So I have really mixed feelings, because this area is beautiful, like absolutely a dream beautiful. But the privacy lot lines are not great for 8 and 9 for a single family, but for a big group, I could see it being awesome. And I do love that shelter with the fireplace. The covered shelter is legit. Let's continue along. Here is 10. 10 is kind of like 7 was. 7's over there to the right of the restroom. That one was kind of claustrophobic. 10 is the same jam, very claustrophobic, kind of crammed in there. I wouldn't do 10, not feeling it. Wouldn't you much rather be at 11? So if you have a choice to be at 11, which is right there, or 10, which is right there, you can see 7, which would you pick, my friend? I think you would pick 11. So I'd rather be on the shoreline side. So here's 11. Kind of have this shoulder indent for your parking. Got your water over there. Check out 11, see if 11's very good. Picnic table, fire pit, grove of massive ponderosas. They're so tall you could barely see to the top. And I like the fire pit centrally located. You do have 8 and 9 over there. You do have East Metolius River shoreline over there. You have a direct line of sight over there, but a good distance. Actually, that's 2 away. You got one closer here with this fire pit. You got a side trail directly to your neighbor over here, so that's not perfect. Pan back around. And you have 10 right there. So not the best lot lines, very open. You're sacrificing privacy for proximity to the river, clearly. Let's go check out your river access. Remember, around the other side of these logs is East Metolius River Trail. So you will have people hiking right by your site. You're kind of right in the center of the action of Pioneer Forest. So remember, here is our trail. Several access points. I mean, you could access right there if you wanted to, but there's better ones. Walk down here. This is a good access point. Look at that log. Creates some really still water. They obviously did this intentionally. So you can go down there as a fly fisherman. It's a really good access point for 11. I do like this very thick ponderosa that's creating like a gateway to your campground. That's pretty cool. Look at that. I mean, that looks legend, doesn't it? Look at these ponderosas. I mean, this area is epic. Even the ones I'm being a little bit more negative on, I'm still impressed by on a different level. Here's another access point, presumably from 10. Come over here, climb on those logs, and then right there actually looks like some pretty still water for fishing. So there's East Metolius River Trail. So 11's got a couple really high quality access points. You can see the shelter gazebo straight ahead. So I'm pretty impressed by 11's access from a fly fisherman's perspective. Very impressed by these epic towering ponderosas that are just legend. Quintessential Deschutes National Forest and quintessential Metolius River National Recreation Area. So not the best lot lines as far as 10 over there and your neighbor right here, and you're right up against East Metolius River Trail. So consistent theme is developing. You are getting premium fly fishing access at the expense of your privacy, but hey, that's probably a good trade to take. There's your spigot. Here's 12. You can see there's the picnic table for 13, but we're not there yet. We're on 12. Here's our little turnabout, little fair play driveway. Again, there's 13. So you park here. We're on 12. Picnic table, fire pit. Nice wide open area. Not the best lot lines with our friend over here, presumably 14. And then also not the best lot lines with our friend over there, 11. You also have straight shot to East Metolius River Trail, so people walking by. So I'd say 12 does not have the best privacy lot lines. See, this is East Metolius River Trail. Great little network of logs here for fly fishing as far as creating some still areas for your waders. And there's East Metolius River Trail. There's just this gorgeous zone, which I can't get enough of. Dream zone, East Metolius River Trail. So 12 is exactly the same as 11. Sacrifice your privacy, little fishbowl, little in the middle of it, up against East Metolius River Trail, but world-class access to Metolius River. So again, there's 11, here's 12. Here over there is 14, presumably, and the restroom. Let's go across to 13. I still liked 1 and 2 the best, I think, because they felt a little bit more privately carved. I'm a person who values privacy. If you don't really care as much about the privacy, then 11 and 12 are epic. But I value privacy, so I'd probably do 1 or 2. Here's 13. A little bit better than 7 and 10, but not epic. I mean, you pretty much can only put your picnic table, or your not picnic table. You can only put your 10 right there on the right. Only spot it would even fit. and very claustrophobic. If your goal is to have the lowest square footage possible, 13 might be the site for you. So I probably would not do 13. I'd say I think 7, 10, and 13 are all like hard nose. I just wouldn't even stay there personally. And their water spigot, they were very generous with their spigots. Here's 14. You can see the restroom straight ahead. 15's actually right there just for lot lines. Ooh, 15 does not look that great. But here's 14. And 14 I think is going to be exactly the same as 11 and 12, so I won't repeat the entire spiel. You're probably tired of hearing it. I might be slightly tired of saying the exact same thing over and over again. Picnic table, fire pit. Don't love the lot lines with 12 and then 11. So 11, 12, and 14 are the exact same situation with East Metolius River Trail and fly fishing. I will walk over just to give you a sense. So you know what you're getting if you book site 14. There's our East Metolius River Trail. People walking right by here. Again, great fly fishing access. You got some still water, throw on the waders, and you got the trees, and bring your tackle, whatever it is. Get your fly fishing on. So that's 14. 14's legit. I would say if you want to be in the heart of the action, then 11, 12, and 14 are kind of the heart of Pioneer Ford. I think if you value a little bit more privacy and you don't want to be in the heart of action, I'd do 1, 2, or 4, although 4 is kind of on the edge. I'd probably just do 1 or 2. So privacy or not privacy, that is the question. Here is 15. You got your restroom adjacent to you, and that's going to be 16 right there. But here's 15, driveway. There's your picnic table, fire pit. Put your tent on the right side of that. I don't like that one at all. This is another one of these claustrophobic ones. Here's bearings. Remember, there's 14. Wouldn't you rather be at 14 than 15? Wouldn't you rather be next to the river than kind of landlocked? So 15 is another one of those that consolation prize only. It could work serviceable, but not a destination site by any stretch of the imagination. Here is 16. I will point out they have this Prem site, short for premium site. They're basically acknowledging it's shoreline, so I think they charge extra, which is understandable and okay. Still pretty cheap to go camping versus stay in a hotel, so I think it's good value. There's our campground road. Here's our picnic table, fire pit. This is a particularly disheveled campsite. I don't know why, but not that big of a deal. A couple already made logs for you to sit on. I would not burn those. I would sit on those. Too nice to burn. And again, you got your friends, 14 and 12 down the road, or down the line. Nice trees, nice little grove of trees. Actually gives you some line of sight blockage. But coming over here, I can go through the spider webs. Okay, we're back over to our East Metolius River Trail, right here. So you could come over here, maybe access, actually not a very good spot right there, but there's obviously several places. Maybe right over there you can come down here. Actually, that's probably for the next site. So you could find an access point. Doesn't seem to be like a very clearly defined one for this one, for 16, that I'm seeing, unless I went the wrong direction. You can come down here or over there. So I would say 16 has a better privacy lines from the East Metolius River Trail. It actually has a line of sight breakage, but it doesn't have as good of a access point for the river. You kind of just got to walk down the trail a little bit and find your own. It doesn't have one that feels like it's specially carved for 16, but that may or may not be of significance to you. So let's move on to the next one. You got the spigot right across the way, the restroom. Again, you got 15 over there, but it's kind of around the corner, so not so bad as far as line of sight. Here's our water spigot, and we just have a few left. That's 16 of 20. We got a few left right here. Let's see our next one. They've got the premium site moniker on it because it is shoreline. Here's 17. It does have its own little driveway, not a big driveway, not a real wide driveway either. 17, picnic table, fire pit, very open to East Metolius River Trail. It's good and bad. Not great for privacy, but great for your own views of the river. And this seems like really high quality river access, like basically what I'm doing right now. Right down here, this is East Metolius River Trail. So here's the trail, here's your site. Probably couldn't be more exposed if you wanted to be, as far as, you know, people are hiking right here in East Metolius River Trail. They walk right by your site, and like there's no breakage, there's no trees. Probably put my tent over there or over there. People walking by, but, and here's the rest of East Metolius River Trail. But look at this. I mean, this is premium access if you're a fly fisherman. Walk in there, you can step over, get over to the other side. There's a log over there. Use that and just kind of fish to your heart's content. So great fishing access, great views of the river, but people will be hiking right by your site. So same thing as 11, 12, and 14. It's that privacy versus access trade-off. But I can see why they gave this the premium site moniker, because it is a premium site, absolutely. And let's continue along. That was 17. Here is 18. It's another inner. You can see a beautiful section of forest. Let me just kind of pan around to give you your bearings. There's 17. So wouldn't you rather be at 17 against the river than 18 landlocked on the inside? I would. There's 19 over there. But this is 18. Drive, picnic table, fire pit. Put your tent probably straight ahead, maybe to the right of that stump. I mean, it's a beautiful section of Deschutes National Forest, don't get me wrong, but it's not as good. You do have poor lot lines. Let's go over here, look at it from the picnic table perspective. So here's your fire pit, here's your picnic table, and oh yes, so I was starting to say, you got your neighbor, probably presumably 20 right there. So 18 and 20 are right on top of each other and they're landlocked. I wouldn't do 18 or 20. I haven't gotten to 20 yet, but it's how I feel. So again, in this little section of Final Four, 17 is really high quality. Let's go. That's why it's a premium site. Here, let's go check out 19. We're getting to the end, the edge of glory. There's 20, which I think is the last one here. There's 20 sites here. 19, you've got your own turnabout. Doesn't say premium site. So picnic table, fire pit. Probably put maybe tent maybe straight ahead. Let's go check out the access to East Metolius River Trail. I think this is going to be a very similar story to 17 and 14 and 12 and 11. Yeah, here's the trail over here. So coming over here, you got East Metolius River Trail. Yep, here's our trail. Here's the view from the trail of your site. So you got a little bit of tree cover, but not really. Here's your, what I would consider the access point for site 19. Premium, look at that water and those logs in there. So that is a premium spot to access from a fly fisherman's perspective. So fly fishing dream zone. 19 is very good for fly fishing, my humble opinion. But you do have East Metolius River Trail coming right by you. So trade-offs. There's the trail. And here's 19. So 19 is good, actually. I actually think 19 is pretty good. I like 19 better than some of them because at least you have this quasi tree cover, which gives you shade and a little bit of blockage. So 19, even though it doesn't have the premium sticker, it doesn't mean it's not on recreation.gov as a premium, but I actually like 19 better than a few that they called more premium. So different strokes, different folks. Here's looking down the campground road. That was 19. And lo and behold, my friend, we are on the final campsite of Pioneer Ford. So here is campsite 20. Last one, you can see the signage over there when you're first entering the campground. Here is the driveway. Picnic table, fire pit. It's an inner, so it's not right on National Wild and Scenic Metolius River. So it's already, for me, a massive strike. And then horrible lot lines with our friend over there, 18. So because of the lot lines and not being right on the river, I wouldn't do 18 or 20. I would much rather do 19 or 17. So 20, no bueno. Here's trail access. Check this out. So this is East Metolius River Trail, a wide access point. 2.4 miles to the Wizard Falls fish hatchery from here. If you're got any hikers in your group, I would definitely recommend to go check that out. Wizard Falls is absolutely gorgeous. Stand on a bridge and overlook it, and it's turquoise epicness. Got videos of that available on my channel.